Infinite and grand day, family, and welcome back to Yvette's View. And today I would love to talk about transformation slash rebirth. And it's so befitting because this weekend it was all about that. Some summits I was in, some um, gatherings that I was in this weekend was about rebirth and resurrection. It was definitely befitting because I was already thinking about speaking about this for this particular day, as a matter of fact. And the analogy that I wanted to use was the caterpillar. And it was amazing because one of the other young ladies had brought up the caterpillar or brought up the butterfly, and thought about the caterpillar and how it transformed into the butterfly. And that's exactly what I was thinking about speaking about and talking about. And so um, with that, I was just like, oh gosh, this is amazing that everywhere I'm at, we're all on the same wavelength. We're all on the same mindset. And I was just like, I am so grateful to be a part of a mindset of people that I'm around and that I'm engaged with are definitely on the same mindset. So I was grateful for that. And I just wanted to give a little bit of a testimony of what that's about, because I started to look at my life like the caterpillar and how I kind of put myself in the same lane as the caterpillar because of its beginning, middle, and then its birth and its rebirth. I started to look at myself in the same way that the caterpillar was, where when it's first born, it's crawling on the ground. It's getting its footing. It's trying to figure out some stuff. It's trying to figure out its way. It's trying to figure out how to, maneuver in its world, in that particular world. Now, once it was in that world, it had to go to the next phase and the next stage. And that next stage was going to be in this cocoon that it was going to spin itself into this cocoon of silk. And then it's in this gestation period for however many weeks or months that this caterpillar is resting, if you will, but really getting a whole new shape, a whole new body, a whole new mindset, a whole new way of being. And I thought about that for even myself, because when I think back from once I started from my baby stage, then I had to get to the young adult stage, then to the adult stage. All of those stages, there was some gestation periods, there was some growth, there was some labor pains that had to be that you had to go through, or that I had to go through, because I'm talking about myself, so that I had to go through. I now understand, shout out to I Am Yogi G. I love the statement that he made, I grow through what I go through. And as I am growing through what I'm going through, it brought it all back to me, even with today, with something that happened today that I had to be reminded. I had to become aware of some things that kind of threw me off my course. At least my plan, I'll put it that way. The plan that I had for myself, this AM, this rising, went completely awry. It didn't go the way I had intended for it to go, or that I thought it should have gone. But it went the way it was supposed to go, because it still ended up benefiting me in the long run. But in the moment that it happened, it didn't feel that way, right? Again, Nothing is happening to me. It's happening through me. And it's happening for me. It's all going to be for my good. Had I taken that moment, had I taken that moment to stop and breathe, but I went on in because, again, at the end of the day, we still have our tendencies to revert back to some old mindsets and old patterns. But once you realize that that no longer fits in your world, it's like, wait, the awareness comes back so quick that you're like, no. I had to change my perspective, y'all. I had to change my perspective about the whole situation, because had I not, I wouldn't be on today. I would not have been on today. And my intention was to make a video today, because I have a goal and a mindset of and an intention to put videos up at least 3 days out of the week. But when I thought about just the whole transformation, the whole resurrection, the whole rebirth, and that caterpillar, and from where it started to where it go and how it goes through its stages, it just really, even today, that really became evident to me that I went back into on the ground there for a minute with the, from beginning stages, and like, no, we're getting ready. Let's go back to the cocoon. Let's get back into the silk pocket there. Let me spin this around and let me change my mindset about this thing. But for me, I ended up being in my gratitude mode. So I'm like, okay, you got to get back to your gratitude. There's a reason this happened. There's a purpose in the reason that this happened. At the moment, I didn't realize that it was doing something for my good. I thought it was for my detriment. I had the wrong mindset, y'all. I thought of it in the wrong, I thought about it in the old mindset, I'll say that. I started getting to my attitude of gratitude. And I'm like, thank you, because man, I was about to go down a rabbit hole, but I was like, that's not what I like to be. That's not how I like to feel. I didn't like that feeling. And when that feeling kind of came along, I just thought, okay, what do I do? And so for me, it was time to go back into that cocoon. It was time for me to get back, because there's a new baby that I am bringing forth. And it has to go through its gestation stage. It's got to go through its labor pains. They're not going to always feel good. But you do have those times where you can take those breaths, because you're not always in labor when you're getting ready to give birth. You might have, it's only towards the end when you're in that every minute. But when you're beginning labor, it can be, contractions can happen, 5 minutes apart or 15 minutes apart. They'll start off with 15 minutes apart. So that's the way I kind of looked at the caterpillar from the ground when it's in the cocoon. When it comes out of that cocoon, it's a whole new thing. It's no longer on the ground. It actually has wings now. It initially didn't have its wings, but it had to go through certain stages till it became the butterfly, until it produced its wings. And that's where I was, and that's where I am. I'm still somewhat in the cocoon, but my antennas are starting to peek out. The awareness to me is like the head. When you are aware of what's going on internally, when you're aware of how you're feeling, and then you can bring yourself back in. Even if you need someone to talk to, even if when you talk to someone and you speaking that out, you almost get your own answer as you start to speak that out. Like, wait a minute, you know what? I'm tripping. Because this didn't happen to me, it happened for me. And I'm going to shout out I Am Yogi G, who gave us the statement that I grow through what I go through. And I was so thankful for that, because as I'm continuing to grow, I'm growing through what I'm going through. And I'm going to shout out Ascending Infinite Goddess, who asked us a question um, in our group that we have about what do you do when you have a funky day, or if your day is funky, or if whatever, however it starts, what do you do? So those kind of that question I answered, and I actually had to put that thing to work, and it did. It worked. As I talked to myself, I had to talk myself back out of that funk. I'm like, this cannot stay here. This is my world. I'm creating it. This doesn't allow, this don't belong here. You're not welcome. Kick rocks. And I was like, okay, attitude of gratitude is on and popping. I decided to become grateful and thankful for all that happened, all that transpired. To now, I was able to come on and make this video and come on with a smile, a genuine smile, and literally feel a whole new me that has emerged, that had to come through that little bit of a labor pain right there and emerge as this butterfly that can now smile and laugh and do how I love to be, how I like to just be on a regular basis. I'm like, this is who I am. This is how I like to be. This is what I love to show the world. I keep being amazed at how in touch I have been, just in my own mindset, and then someone else is doing the same thing. And I'm like, why? Wow, this is amazing. I'm like, we are in sync when you have found your tribe. And I have to shout out my twin Tish as well, who definitely keeps me grounded, tells me things, and and told me to let it go. And I did. I'm just grateful that I was able to get on this other side of it and be able to share my thoughts with you today on just being reborn, being resurrected, if you will, and reemerging from that seed that I planted. And now I can use my wings and fly. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, just being aware. I love the awareness for myself, because it literally helps me to get back in line, back on track mentally first. It helps me to get there first. I can only be in my attitude of gratitude for that. It almost seems like it's not even real, but it is. Because like I said, I could have came on like really on a funky note, but I can share that I did have a funky time. I had a funky mindset. I started to change my perspective, change my thought pattern on that. Things that I had been practicing, now I had to actually, it was time to really put that thing into practice right in that time, right in that moment. And I didn't do it right in that moment, but it came about an hour later, but it came. I still got it. I still went on and did it. And with that, I'm so grateful for, family. Just letting you know that once you start to change your perspective, see things differently, and become aware of your own self, become aware of what's going on internally, become aware of when things do happen, change your way of thinking about it. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you, or it's happening through you, or it's happening for a reason and a purpose, and it's going to be for your good, ultimately, even when it doesn't feel like it. Because trust me, it don't feel like it when it's when the moment is happening. But if you take a breath, breathe, stop, or what my father would say, stop, look, and listen. Stop for a minute. Calm yourself for a minute. And think about this thing before your mind gets to running, because your mind can get to running all different kinds of ways if you allow it to. But Once you become aware of that, once you're in tune with yourself, oh my goodness, it's such a beautiful way of living, for at least for me, because once I'm aware of it, then I can do something about it. I can say, we don't have to stay here. We don't have to be here. We don't have to stay in this zone. This zone is not the zone we love to be in. We like la la land over there. So I'm gonna skip myself right on back over to la la land, because that's where I like to be. And I get to choose that. What a beautiful thought is that you get to choose that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. You could have been anywhere else, and I'm so grateful and so honored for you to be here with me and to allow me to share some of my day with you. So with that being said, family, have a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Hit the word all so that you are notified any and every time I post a video. Family, have a great day. Peace.